Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. This is Jason, host of Fighting Words Financial. Today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about Prosper.com, my personal account, and how I make money while I sleep. Now I did an earlier video on this about a year ago. It didn't get a lot of traction back then, but for one reason or another, the YouTube algorithm gods have suddenly decided that this video is in favor, and little by little, it's getting views and likes at this point. I think it might have something to do with inflation concerns and the fact that people are starting to look for alternative investments. And let's cover my portfolio, my personal account on this. I started this a long time ago with very little money, really out of curiosity. And this is what the front page of the website looks like. We're going to go ahead and take a look at my account here. All right, so as you can see, I have roughly $2,872 in this account. It's not a huge portion of my portfolio. All this is done online. All this is done electronically. It's connected to a bank account. I take money out from my bank account, put it directly into here. I never have to send them a check or use any sort of paper or anything like that. I started off real small way back in 2010 because I liked the idea and it was really experimental. I think I originally started the account with just $25 and put in $25 here and there, never huge amounts, never more than like $100 at a time. And it's been more entertaining in a lot of ways than a serious investment. Although it is highly likely that I'm putting more money in this in the future, largely because this return has crept up to something that really rivals like a 60-40 portfolio, stock and bond portfolio. If you look at the stock and bond portfolio performance over the last 3 decades, it's averaged right around 7.62%. And if you look at this portfolio averaging 7.31%, with all of the defaults and delinquencies in the loan portfolio, it still looks pretty good, right? So let's talk about this like flat period right here too. Back about right here, I started a new job where they would not allow me to make any investments in the account. So everything that was coming out of the account that I was being paid was just going into cash and sitting there. And they saw it as a conflict of interest. So I basically couldn't manage the account for a number of years. Once I left that job, I started, becoming re-involved with this account. And if you also look, auto invest is on, meaning that as money comes in, it gets, as this cash right here that's sitting, this $127 in cash is going to be automatically reinvested. I don't have to do anything. I used to do all of my own investments myself, but I learned after a while that it's not something that I wanted to do. And when you think about it, I only have access to certain information that's put on the application. They have access to all of it, and they have to do that for privacy reasons. So they have better information than I do. I'm already being charged a 1% fee for loan origination. And this is at no additional cost. They'll manage the investment for me. So I went ahead and let them do this. And I've actually been pretty happy with the return so far. But let's talk about why this is sort of timely right now. A lot of concern about inflation, both in my professional practice and through my YouTube channel, getting a lot of questions about it. This is one thing that could possibly, as an alternative asset class, help you to keep up with inflation over time. And let's talk about why that is. We're going to take a look directly at the notes portfolio that I have right now. And you're going to see that you make these loans to people in really small amounts. If you look on the left-hand side right here, this is sort of Prosper.com's credit rating, with AAA being the highest and, of course, HR, high risk, being the lowest. And I'm making these loans in small amounts. Like this person with a B Prosper rating is not coming to me and saying, hey, Jason, I want to take a withdrawal for $25 or a loan for $25 rather. They're saying I need a loan for $10,000. And lots of investors are getting together and funding this loan in part, right? And the interest rates are not low. These are unsecured loans. And they're going out anonymously to people. You don't know these people. They don't know you. So there's a high degree of default rate. There's a high default rate in this portfolio. So accordingly, you're going to collect a lot of interest because some of these loans, of course, will not be paid back. As you go down that credit scale from C to D, you're going to see correspondingly higher interest rates. When you get to E, it's really, really high. Oddly enough, the E tranche there of creditworthiness has actually been highly profitable for me, but not because the interest rates are really, really high, because those people are paying just as often as the people in that sort of B level tranche, right? And we'll go over that when we look at my my portfolio allocation. In fact, let's do that right now. Let's go back to my investments and we'll look at how my portfolio is allocated automatically. So my B rating, where I'm getting average, I think the average return based on the note, on the actual like percentages on the note, is right around 14%. What I'm actually collecting though is right around 7.4% because so many of those loans are in default. When I look at the E credit rating, I have far less in there, but my return is 21.68% because these people are not defaulting on those loans at any higher rate than people in that B level tranche are, which I think is kind of fascinating and shows, well, I don't know what it says right now, but at least it says in my portfolio that people's Prosper credit ratings might not be entirely justified, right? So if you're the kind of person that likes to do your own investing and you don't want to use auto invest, let's take a look at how you would do that. So you would go to browse loan listings right here, and it's going to bring those up here in just a second. And this is really all the information that you get in these next two screens when you're looking to make an investment, right? So I see that this person right here on the top line, 42% of their loan is funded right now. They need $5,799 left to completely fund the loan. They're expecting a yield of about 15.99% for $10,000. And let's take a look at this person right here, right? So the application they put out, this borrows from Texas. The monthly payment will be $248.47. Interest rate is 16.99%, right? They have a historical return rate on this level of risk is going to be somewhere between 3.3% and 9%, right? You can add anywhere between $25 and the entire amount to the investment, right? I would never do that entire amount. I have 346 different loans in my portfolio because I like diversity. You can see for a couple of reasons, I don't look at these anymore because I would always find a reason not to make this investment because of this right here. Bank card utilization for this person is 91%, meaning they're using 91% of their available credit that's out there. That's largely what is affecting their credit score. A lot of people don't understand that that's a huge slice of how your credit score is created, is the percentage of your available credit that you are using. If you're using 91% of your available credit, it's going to bring down your credit score. Shows that they have a revolving credit balance of $8,314. So this $10,000 loan is going to wipe out their entire revolving credit balance, and they're going to have a little bit of money left over. What are they going to do with that little bit of money left over? I'm a little curious to see that. I know that most people that do Prosper investing like people that are employed rather than self-employed. He's been employed in the same type of job for 9 years and 1 month. His stated income is somewhere between $25,000 and $50,000, and his occupation is other. Now, that is all the information that you get when you make these investments. This is one of the reasons why I like that auto investing thing. But the reason why this is going to help you to keep up with inflation is this, and we're going to go back to my investment portfolio, and we're going to kind of scroll backwards in time so you can see how I'm getting payments, right? So let's take a look here at my notes portfolio. We're going to scroll backwards in time, 5 or 6 pages, so you can see where this is going, right? So as the loan matures, like this loan was made on June 12th of 2020. I got my first payment on a month later. My next payment's due on the 10th, right? So far right now, I've received $8.54. Some of that is principal and some of that is interest. The outstanding principal on the loan is $19.17, and the yield is 14.49%, and they're current on their loan, meaning they haven't missed any payments. You can see down here that some people have paid early. Some people, like this person right here, was an A credit rating. They paid me early. I made a $25 loan. They paid me back $27.30. I made 11.24% on that loan. And so I do have defaults in this portfolio too. With 346 loans, you're going to have defaults in there, and I'll cover those in just a minute. But let's talk about what this means as far as keeping up with inflation. What this means as far as keeping up with inflation is this. As that principal and interest comes in, it's going to be reinvested in new notes, and it's all being done automatically. If we have inflation, that would therefore mean that as inflation rises, you're going to see interest rates trail inflation a little bit, but they're going to go up as well. So you're going to get new investments at higher and higher interest rates as your older investments mature. Now, if we see higher inflation than we're expecting, say something like 1970s like inflation, you're going to see that fixed income, that fixed debt that you have is going to be paid off faster and faster and faster, right? There are lots of people in the 1970s who paid off their house by the 1980s because inflation was so high in that time period. And you could see that these loans would be paid off quicker too, because the dollars they're paying you with are now suddenly worth less. But you're getting to reinvest those dollars at higher and higher interest rates over time. And as the inflation rate will calm down, you're still going to see those loans at that higher and higher interest rate. So that's one of the ways that you could keep up with inflation. But anyway, folks, this is just one of the few things that I'm going to share with you guys over the next couple of weeks about different strategies and alternative ways that you can invest and hopefully keep up with inflation or any other concerns that you might have. There are a lot of ways to invest. There's a lot of ways to make money. It's not just technology stocks, even though that's mostly what I talk about, because that's the fun stuff that I like. But as an alternative asset class, I would urge you to take a look at prosper.com. At least I hope I said this early in the video, I'm not being paid by prosper.com to make this video. I'm not sponsored by them in any way. Check this out on your own. Do your own due diligence, make your own decisions. I hope you enjoyed this video today. And so let me know what you think about prosper.com below, and I'll see you next time.